So now we're going to create a 1940s, 1950s hair. Before we start doing that, what a good thing to realise is that obviously everybody's got different hairstyles, so we're going to have to try and pick out key features rather than obviously everybody having the same haircut or hairstyle. Key elements, if you think of the parting as being quite far over. Also, if you have very straight hair, you straighten your hair, I wouldn't do it for this. In fact, it's really helpful to have a bit of a curl to the hair. I've already started on one side curling it, and I'm just going to finish off on this side. I'm not curling it right from the root to the bottom. I'm actually going to start midway, or about two-thirds of the way down. So I'm going to use curling tongs to do this. And I'm just going to feed the hair through so that we get a good curl right to the bottom. And you see it's quite a pronounced curl. I'm just going to go over the next one as well. Best way of achieving these curls, first of all I'd say tongs. If you're really good at using your straighteners to get curls, you can do this, except they don't tend to last as long or give us a pronounced curl. I wouldn't use heated rollers. A really good thing is to actually get someone to set your hair wet in rollers, which is more authentic to the era, and it also means that it will stay in longer. So I've done those final curls. So now what we're going to do, if you're somebody who's not very confident with hair, I would suggest getting some grips and just literally pulling the hair back and pinning it on either side. So it gives that feeling of 1940s, but it's not technically that difficult to do. What I'm going to show you is something that was very common in that era, and it's based on the Victory roll. So we're going to start off on this side. I'm using a dressing brush. These are fantastic because they're quite precise, and at the same time they're brilliant for back brushing the hair. So I'm just back brushing it from one side, from behind, because what I'm going to do on the front of it is actually get a little bit of polish going on by brushing it. So now I'm just going to use my two fingers and I'm going to wrap the hair around it. And we're going to pull it into place and pin it. So we create like a barrel. And then what you can do is just spray that into place. So then on the other side we're going to do the same. Now it's up to you, there are so many different alternatives to do with this. You could put one in the middle and then pull one round the other side, or you can just go straight onto the side and do another one. For me, for this one, I'm going to actually just pull the fringe back and put one at the front. So two fingers, wrap the hair round and then pin it into place. And then we'll go to the other side and do exactly the same again. So I back brushed it slightly. Wrap it around the fingers. If you do it too tight around the fingers, it sometimes gets stuck. So just loosen your grip slightly. And then once again, just going to pin that into place. Now Now, common things that can go wrong with this hairstyle, especially when you're doing it on your own hair, is that you start to get a lot of width going on. It goes wider and wider. If you feel that that's happening, pull the hair, put your finger inside the barrel and just pull it to the side and up a bit, and just give it an extra pin, and it'll just keep it in place a bit more. And then give it a spray. Now this is a nice authentic feeling hairstyle on its own. You can give it a brush through so it's not too barrel curled at the back. Now if you feel that you want to have a variation on this further, what you could do is either pull it all up at the back and pin it like that, or alternatively put it into a bun at the back, which I'm going to do now. So I'm literally going to just pop a ponytail in using a bobble. Try and get a bobble the same colour as your hair rather than going for any that are too bright or not going to look authentic. So once you've got your ponytail in, twist it and then wrap it round at the back and just pin it into place and you'll have a bun. So I'm just pinning that in. Now a really good source of research for this sort of look as well is actually YouTube. If you go on there and look for vintage hairstyles from 1940s and 50s, there's quite a lot on there to give you some inspiration. So once you've got it pinned in, final look, you'll just have a bun at the back there and then you've got the hairstyle at the front. At this stage you could then actually put a headscarf around it. If you're somebody with short hair, what I'd be inclined to do is actually pin back the majority of the hair, cross two grips at the front and then wrap some synthetic hair around a roller and pin that in place with the headscarf. And that's the look for 1940s, 50s.